step on them. Protect at all costs, put a vest on them.
Evening, guys. Welcome to Crossroads Boxing Podcast with myself, CJ Spate, my main man, Eric ERF. Debuting today is Ricky Hand. Ricky, how are you, buddy? You okay?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. That were a banging tune and all, to be fair. Like.
It's not our tune, though.
It's Trill's tune. It was part of iBoxingHub. It's his new album. What come from his new album? What came out in February? So yeah,
my head will go in there. I didn't want it to end.
We've got lots to talk about tonight. We've got a big session, obviously, on Ricky introducing himself. Before we get started, we'll just go to a quick bit from our sponsor, D-Rock Clothing. If you want to hit that as. Boys, episode 15.
Yes.
Finally got Ricky on the show.
No.
You better introduce yourself, Rick. Let yourself known.
Yeah, so I'm Ricky and I'm joining the team between ERF and CJ on the podcast, and I'm also going to be helping out with Crossroads, doing articles on the websites as well, looking at predictions, reviews, previews, and all that good stuff, really. So just talking everything boxing. So that's about it.
There's a lot more to it than that, mate.
Yeah, we've chucked him in the deep end because he only wanted to write a few reviews, and yeah, we've dragged him in. But it's brilliant. If we're going to go through one of Ricky's reviews tonight from the Ennis versus Stanionis unification fight, so we're going to go through that in a minute. But yeah, if you want to check that out on our Facebook as well, we've got a Facebook page, Crossroads in Boxing. If you want to check that out on there, Ricky will be posting on there. He'll also be doing round by round fight chats through Facebook and Twitter on the iBoxingHub Twitter as well. So yeah, Ricky's busy. I think he's busier than me and CJ, to be honest with you.
He's better at spelling than me, that's for sure. So you're the man for the job, mate.
Well, we had to get somebody who was good at that. Technology reading. Yeah, we'll go through the reviews of the Stanionis versus Ennis card. I thought the card was brilliant, to be honest with you. Unexpectedly, I didn't think it'd be as good as it was. But yeah, what did you think of it, CJ, Ricky?
It was a great card. I'll let you shoot off, Ricky, to it, mate. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was gonna. I do hear a lot of hype about Ennis. I'm not always the strongest believer in what he is, if I can say that. But yeah, the whole card in general was good. So Ricky, do you want to start your review and we'll kick off from there?
Yeah, so from the get-go, really, it was just more of a strange promotional type of thing with this card, because it were another one of those shows that were just flying underneath the radar a little bit. So it had a decent card all round. There just weren't much promotional value. I don't know if that were tactics from Jaron Ennis coming off a couple of maybe iffy performances. I don't know if it was just one of those things, really, but as I said, the first fight, we had Shakram Gearsov against Franco Campo. That fight started off really well. Gearsov, very aggressive, boxing really well, using shots, combinations, screw shots, different angles. Campo didn't really do too much. Every now and again, he came out the first minute of the round, he'd land maybe a straight backhand, and that would be pretty much all that happened between them two. But Gearsov, very dominant, very aggressive, and stopped him in the fourth round.
Where do you think Gearsov can go from here, Eric?
Well, he's the mandatory for Boots next. I don't think he gets that fight next. I'm hoping Boots gets another unification fight. If he does go against Boots next, I don't know the level of competition what Campos was compared to a Boots. I think Gaiusov being so much front-footed in that Campos fight, I think he can get him in a lot of trouble with Boots, because Boots' timing, his defense is quite good. I know he does get it with big shots, but more times than often he slips, he rides those shots. Gaiusov probably has another fight before Boots. I don't think that's next. I think there's plenty of people in that welterweight division to fight. I think Boots right now, he needs to go after the champions.
Yeah, I agree. You're looking at probably a unification match next night for Boots, I'd say. Big fight.
Yeah, I think obviously the Normans have been going off saying that they want that fight. They did get offered it before. Would I want to see that fight? Yeah, because I think Norman's last performance was a good performance, very good performance from him. Winning by stoppage, I think. He won by stoppage. So I think the Norman fight is probably what everyone wants, most people wants. I don't know what's happening with Barrios at the moment, because no one's heard anything what's happening with him. He's got that WBC title, so hopefully Ennis versus Norman can get made. And after that performance from Ennis, I find it hard to pick against him right now.
Yeah, very dominant, wasn't it? Very dominant.
Next on card, Rick, is that Amari Jones?
Yeah, so he was making his second fight. It was a 6-rounder. Again, compared to when Delicious made his debut, I thought were very lackluster. Omari Jones were completely different. Gravy were like very dominant, very assertive, very confident in his abilities. He mixed his shots. He tackled the body quite a lot as well, which was pretty good. Like, not many people, especially from the amateurs, come up and start tackling the body straight away. So again, I think that didn't even make it past the first round. A nice little body shot, and it ended it. But yeah, really good performance. I'd like to see his career sort of like build now, nice steadily.
Yeah, they've seemed to be pushing him quick, because he only fought a couple of weeks prior to that, I think, Omari Jones. So I think they're trying to get him active, which a young prospect coming out of the Olympic team or whatever it is, they do need to be active. That's probably the worst thing for a prospect, having 1 or 2 fights a year. Getting out every other month at least is a good first year. Just before we continue,
can you get these comments on?
Yeah. I was just about to say we'll do the comments. CJ likes reading comments out anyway.
We've got loads. Rico's spamming us. Good evening, Rico. I hope you're well, boss.
Yeah, big up Rico. I'm guessing your mum's in the building as usual. There she is. Big up Ricky.
Yeah.
My mum says welcome, Ricky.
Thank you.
Conor Ben going for unifications after Eubank. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing after Eubank. He needs to recover. He needs to recover. That's what I know.
We gotta make it fast first. Looking at
Barrios is held in a cell at the PBC dungeon. Yeah, Barrios has just gone missing at this moment in time when everything's happening in boxing. That welterweight division with the likes of Haney, Ramirez, Garcia, Rowley moving up. There's a lot of names in that division now, so I don't know why Barrios is so quiet, but hopefully the WBC can do something about that and get an order in place so someone can get that belt off him. Next fight, Ricky.
Next fight, we had Raymond Ford against Thomas Matisse. Raymond Ford, again, very, very impressive. Again, another boxer just asserted his dominance straight away. Very nice shots, different good shot selection. Every shot sounded like it had a good thud to it as well, a good little snap to his shots. My only issue with that fight really was Thomas Matisse I don't think he just didn't turn up for the fight. He just, like, once the first round got from the get-go, he just looked like he was very he didn't know what to do. Like Raymond just absolutely dominated him all the way through to the point where I thought Raymond Ford had a beautiful performance, but the fucking crowd were booing. And like I've spoke to before, I can only surmise that they were booing Matisse because he just did not do a thing. Like the first round, I scored at a 10-8 because he was just that dominated. So good performance by Raymond Ford, but that Thomas Matisse, I can't see him doing much more in that division really.
Ford's dominating, isn't he? He really is just destroying anybody that they put in front of him. You'd like to think that the crowd would boo Matisse and not Ford. It was a complete shutout, an absolute shutout. A good shout that as well for a 10-8 round at first, and you don't see that very often. And judges don't score stuff like that, but they should. You should be given that reward. I think if you really have dominated someone that much, that's what scoring's there for.
We've spoke on judges not because they're allowed to score a fight however they want to score a fight, and waiting for a referee to tell you it's a 10-8 round. I think judges need to. But then again, with the way judges are going at this moment in time, I don't know if you want to give them that leeway of saying score a 10-8 round when you want, because at the moment they're struggling to score 10-9 rounds properly. But yeah, on the Ford performance, I thought it was flawless, absolutely flawless. Like you said, his punch selection was brilliant. I think the only time he threw one shot was rarely when he threw a left hook, maybe, but it was 3, 4, 5 shots consistently all fight. His jab was on point. His feet was really good. He was moving with the punches. As he was punching, he was moving in with his feet. It was a dominant performance. The booing has to be from Matisse, because when Matisse did sort of, I say, trapped Ford in the corner, Ford sort of put himself in that position, and Matisse wouldn't let his hands go. He wasn't doing anything. He was just posturing. So yeah, I think the crowd sort of got a bit frustrated with Matisse just not doing anything. But for sure, when Raymond was punching and moving, he was flawless. The performance, the booing had nothing to do with him.
No.
On the go on, sorry there, Rick. Go on, mate.
No, I was just thinking as well, I think after the 7th or 8th, Matisse also started getting a bit confident and a bit cocky and started mouthing off it ring, didn't he? And started showboating. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what fight he thought he were in, but he just come forward and that was it. He just mouthing off. Even blew him a kiss.
I think that's desperation, mate, Rick.
Yeah,
that's like backed into a corner.
I think he's trying to frustrate Ford, trying to get Ford to come out of his game plan and probably try to stop him and make a mistake. But Ford stayed professional. He continued letting his hands go. He didn't buy into it. I think he was hurting Matisse at times in there. That's the reason why Matisse wasn't letting his hands go. I think Ford was hurting him in there. So yeah, for all round it was a great performance. I enjoyed the fight. I don't even understand the booing. But CJ, you're smiling. I'm guessing the comments are going off or something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if we go right through to that last comment, I'm sure Ricky will be pleased with it.
There you go.
That's Ricky's brother there.
Big lad.
Shout out to Connor, big lad. Hey, he's going to be an up and coming everywhere. You watch this space.
Top journey, man.
The hands breed them well. There's some good genes in them hands.
We'll leave that up there for now. We'll leave that up there for now.
Lake water.
What else? What we got next?
Well, we've got Dalton Smith. I'm really excited. Massive Dalton Smith fan. That's no secret. Oh, we still doing Ennis?
Yeah, you're jumping.
Yeah, sorry. It's the main event. So,
main event.
Jan and Ennis against, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his first name, but Staniotis. So, this fight, well, obviously, to be fair, good. That's a good comment there. But Staniotis, obviously, when we were on that Twitter space, weren't we? And I weren't too sure about Staniotis, if it was too much of a step up the inactivity.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah,
just very, very obviously that Eastern European style, very flat-footed. How does that come across against your typical flair of the American boxer? And I just thought Ennis. I know Ennis were coming off of 2 iffy results, but like I said, when you've won for so many times and you've just been blasting past opponents, every now and again you get that you'll get those fights. Even Mayweather had them against, like you say, Castillo, Oscar De La Hoya's.
Well, I did say as well, Karen, I think we misjudged what Karen was. I said at the time, Karen might turn out to be a better fighter than we judged him for, because we judged him off the first fight. So when he came in and made adjustments to the second fight and gave Boots trouble, everyone put it down to Boots not being who he is or what he says he is or all of that. And I said at the time that it could have simply be that we misjudged how good Karen was. He just might have had a bad night the first time round, and then he realised, you know what, I probably belong in there with them. And when you come back the second time, and he made adjustments which troubled Boots. I think he's a better fighter than a lot of people rated, and we'll probably see it in time to come, because that welterweight division is stacked, and there's plenty of people who Karen could probably beat in there.
Yeah,
I think Karen showed, and it showed with Stanios as well. Karen landed some really good left hooks. Ennis clearly hasn't sorted that out yet. I think he will get caught with the same left hook from Stanios.
He rides with the shots, Ennis. That's the thing. He rides with the shots, so he hardly ever gets caught clean. But when he has got caught clean, I've not seen him hurt. So
I've not seen him hurt. I'm just saying that there's a chink in the armour, if you like. If that's what I'd be building on. Stanios clearly didn't have any power to trouble him from that. But just there was points in fight that he had some success. Stanios, it wasn't a complete shutout. I think he worked really hard. Ennis's body work was fantastic from the get go. But yeah, just as for future, he's got to look out for them left hooks, because clearly 100%. That's something he's getting caught with.
Yeah, go on, Ricky. You finish.
So like I was saying anyway, so we didn't know what we were going to expect, and we knew that Ennis needed a performance, and obviously I kind of feel like that might have been why it was a bit quiet, a bit under the radar, because they didn't want to put probably too much of a big push on it in case anything happened. But no, it proved us all wrong really with that performance, in my opinion. Absolutely dominated him from the get-go, blasted him, hurtful shots, were venom, there were nastiness, he were a fucking killer in that ring. And I tell you, and that when he gets to that, I think it's like the sixth round, and he drops him, and he hurts him with those multiple body shots, but then just to get on him, like 4 uppercuts, just bang, bam, bam, and that's just that nastiness he needed, and it was good performance for Boots in that one.
Yeah, I thought the performance was very good. I think a lot of people thought Stanionis, including myself, thought Stanionis would give a better account of himself in that fight. I thought he'd give Boots a bit more trouble than he did, but like you said, from the get-go, Boots looked on it. He boxed really well on the back foot when he needed to. When he was on the front foot, his punch selection, the body shots hurt Stanionis, and he kept going to the body. And Stanionis, he did well in parts. I think his jab, Boots took away his jab quite a lot in this fight. He couldn't use his jab like he usually did. The left hooks was landing. A few of them was landing, but like I said, Ennis was riding with the shots as well. He was always aware they were coming. He didn't really get caught not seeing a shot. He was aware they were coming. I think a few times he actually rode with it, and it didn't touch him. He made Stanionis swing and miss. So I think that the performance, he proved that he's the number one in that division right now. But like I said, there's big fights to be made in that division. It's probably right now one of the hottest divisions with name recognition wise there. And he can build a good legacy at 147 if he can continue making that weight. On the night he looked filled out. He looked good, but prior to it, he looked dodgy. So it all depends on how he can make that weight. Obviously, we've had our conversations about people making weight, draining themselves. I don't think draining yourself gives you any extra powers. I really don't. I think a lot of people say weight bullying and stuff like that. I think it does more damage to the fighter draining themselves and trying to rehydrate than it gives them a benefit. Because a lot of their fighters, they say that's weight bullies. They don't actually fight like that, because Ennis doesn't fight like he's a weight bully. He's a boxer.
No. That's why
You know what I mean?
Pacquiao are into it, really.
Exactly. So.
He loves those stretchweight fights.
Yeah. CJ, do you want to go?
He's a gobshite, isn't he?
You roll with the punches with Eric, man. Eric gets on a roll and you just
I
ride
get on
out.
a roll. That's it.
I tell you what, there were, and no, we didn't wake up. I didn't wake up for any Rico, but there was one more fight that I did look at. It was the main event from an Irish card, which was Senan Kelly against Declan Geraghty.
I watched that, mate.
Did you
Brilliant.
watch it?
Yeah, brilliant.
The lad from Highfield's boxing gym, he's a journeyman. He was over there as well as on the undercard, Jake Smith. But that were a good fight. Over the video in were a bit shit, like I thought from the zone, but the actual fight itself, well, you know, you had a boxer versus a rough and tough fighter. You had Senan Kelly trying to cut the ring off, trying to dominate, trying to pressure. You had the older boxer in Geraghty trying to box on that back foot and try and rewind the clock a little bit, but it was for the Irish welterweight title. Senan Kelly got I scored a draw, but he got it on the split decision. But it was quite a cracking fight, to be fair, I thought.
That leads us again to this like promotion thing we're talking about. You're not hearing about any other cards. Like I know that's a small hall card compared to what we just spoke about with Stanios and Boots, but still, like you say, you managed to switch on to a bit of that, and I did. There was some great fights on there, some proper tough brawls. You don't hear about any of this. Just scrolling down schedule here for Ring, there's so many fights happening, and there is no talk on them whatsoever.
No,
people are missing out on some great boxing.
Well, it's like this weekend's card, isn't it?
Yep, it's happening all over. And I think I wonder if it's a catalyst of we're getting so many fights happening, so many cards, which is brilliant for us doing a podcast for boxing fans. You've got week by every weekend you seem to be having a card, but the promoters aren't promoting anymore. You've got DAZN, which is an app that not everybody's got. So it's not like Sky where you're constantly seeing adverts and stuff like that. You're not seeing it. You're not seeing any promotion. Like the fighters are quiet because they're in training camp. I mean, Eddie's concentrating on the show he's doing at that moment, and there doesn't seem to be a push for these big shows. Like the next 4 weeks, what we've got this weekend, you've got Dalton Smith versus German.
Isn't it?
You've got Ben Whittaker versus Liam Cameron, and you're only hearing about that because of the round situation. Yeah. Next weekend, you've got Conor Ben versus Eubank. You're only hearing about that. You're not only hearing about that at the moment because of what his dad said.
And the undercard on that is like absolutely fantastic. You've got Yard versus Arthur, you've got Smith versus McKenna, you've got Billum Smith versus Glanton. If anyone doesn't know, that Glanton's had 17 knockouts out of his 20 win. It's a massive fight.
That's what I mean. Like nobody's hearing anything about these cards. Even
what are you smiling at, Ricky?
Fucking Rico's comment. Ben Shalom fucked up. Yeah. What's that Rolly one there and all that Rolly comment? Yeah.
What's he said about Rolly?
I watched a video of him just before this of him hitting a bag and it sounds like a dying cat.
Where's the Rolly one? I can't see it.
Rolly equals greatness by Rico.
You know what? Even if I could find it, I'm not putting it up.
Rico, do you really like Ben Shalom? Tell me the truth. Are you a massive Ben Shalom fan? What's happening, Rico? Because I feel like he's just making bollockses. He's just dropping clangers left, right, and centre. He's
making his fighters look bad at this moment in time. Like every single fighter he seems to have, like whenever they're in the limelight, it's not for a good reason. No. It's never for a good reason. It's either for them not taking a fight, then pulling out of a fight, then pulling out of purse bids, bloody round. Like what the hell is going on at boxing? I do not know. What's Mandy said? Go on, CJ.
I want to know who you guys think will win between Whittaker and Cameron because I'm so excited about it.
Let's touch on that one.
Let's jump on it. I'm a massive Cameron fan. I wasn't originally. I'll be the first to admit that. I saw him backstage at Shaw at Magna Centre, and I wasn't keen. but he's grown on me massively. Obviously, then stories come out after this fight. He's earned his right. He's earned this fame that he's getting at the minute because he's come up the hard way. He's had his 12-round fights. He's had his title fights. He's been up and down, inside and outside of the ring. I think Ben Whittaker's scared, truthfully. I think all this facade, all this slagging off, all this I wasn't right, or I don't know. Did anyone watch The Gloves Are Off? He didn't answer any questions, Ben Whittaker. He avoided things. He was saying that Whittaker was at the worst of his performances, whether that's the best we're going to get of Cameron. I don't believe it. I think Liam Cameron knows he has got nothing to lose in there now. He knows he can hurt Ben. He knows Ben obviously wants to get out of the ring, and when he does, he'll even jump over the fucking rope to get out of there. I think Cameron's going to stop him. I think Cameron's going to stop him midway, 6-7 maybe. Rico, leave my mum alone.
See, I'm a bit. See, at first I was like, obviously I want Cameron to beat him anyway. I like Cameron, like his backstory. I like him as a fighter. I think he's very aggressive. The only kind of thing that's made me think twice recently is just the fact that he's an Olympic medalist for a reason. He went into the unknown. He didn't really come up against a proper pressure fighter and somebody as game as Cameron before. I kind of think he underestimated him massively. So I just kind of think if his camp can come up with a game plan that's good enough to keep Cameron away. I don't know if he's quite got the power to keep Cameron away, but if he can just box on the outside, use his movement, use his style, use his flair, he might be able to nick it on points. But I don't know. If he can't keep Cameron off him, he's got to have a second game plan, because I think Cameron will swarm him and maul him, and I think he'll bully him again. I do fancy Cameron for the upset, if I'm honest, but it is a close fight more than what you're thinking. He has got that amateur pedigree there, so he has got some skill, to be fair. As much as he's hated and people take the piss out of him, he's getting back in the fucking ring. So, you know what I mean? Fair play to him, really.
I think he. Just a little update there. Leon
No,
scored.
we don't need an update. Let's carry on. On this fight, no.
Liam Cameron. Listen, it's all there for everyone to see. All the pressure is on Whittaker now. Like Ricky said, it's Whittaker that's got the amateur pedigree, the Olympic. Look at Eric shaking his head.
Nan's fucking man, you know.
I'm fuming right now. I'm fuming right now.
Whittaker has got everything to lose, and I think he's feeling that pressure. I really do. I don't think it's bothered Cameron whatsoever. He's finally earning his good bit of money. He's got himself back on track in his life. It's win-win for Liam Cameron. It really is win-win for him.
Yeah, well, I'm against both of you. I think the reason why is everything what Cameron's done since the first fight is exactly what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to, because Ben was supposed to blast him out. Let's not forget that. The mind games what Liam's been playing with Ben. Ben can't compete with that. That's why he's being silent. He's staying silent because there's nothing he can say to excuse what actually happened in that first fight. All he can do is in the second fight prove what he says. I think this fight, it might be the reason why the downfall of Liam will be this fight is because he knows he can hurt Ben, but he'll go out to do it. And I don't think, like Ricky said, I think Ben will box. He ain't going to stand there because he knows he can't hurt Liam. What he can do is frustrate him, though. Ben's movement, his style, they're making people miss. Just concentrate on landing shots rather than actually hurting someone. If Ben can concentrate on landing shot and keep touching Liam up whilst Liam's swinging for him, I think Cameron gets frustrated and I think Ben Whittaker wins it.
There's another fight on that card I'm excited for. Lee Cutler, Sam Egerton. Good fighter. Yeah, very good fighter.
Sam Egerton's still fighting is still strange to me.
He kind of reminds me a bit of Cameron, to be fair.
It's mad to me that he's still fighting, but big up to Sam Egerton. I've always enjoyed his fights anyway.
Yeah,
he's all action, Sam Egerton. Whether he wins or loses, he's all action.
I got to meet him down in Birmingham when I met John Pegg. It was great. He was a nice guy. Tough Sam Haggin. I mean, do you remember the big push he had with Matchroom when he was fighting week in and week out? The punishment he was taking, using his chin as his defence, and he just kept coming back and coming back. I mean, definitely on the back end of his career now, but you never know. It's a good fight, that. Good fight. I wouldn't like to call that one. If Sam Haggin turns up for it, I wouldn't like to call it.
But nice for him to rewind the clock a bit, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then Fraser Clark, just before we came on live, guys, Ricky was saying that if Clark comes through this fight with Tete, is it right?
Yeah, Tete, yeah.
Tete. He's probably looking at the winner from TKV and David Adelaide.
Which I kind of think...
You know what it is, Ricky? The same way, yeah, when before CJ met Cameron, he didn't like him. This is what's going to happen with TKV, I'm telling you. You wait later on that line, he's going to be like, you know what? I actually like TKV. He's on.
I'll have to swallow some humble soup there, mate.
I'm seeing him next week. He's going to be at that watch party next week. What I'm going to. So
next CJ down here.
Tell him he can only watch from episode 15 onwards because the rest of them will just slag him off. I'm really excited to watch Clark come back in. He really is a gentleman of boxing. Obviously, amateur background, fantastic. I was fortunate enough, to be at his first fight with Fabio Wardley, and it was a right war. It was fantastic. Second fight, obviously, one of the biggest knockouts I've ever seen. Like, absolutely devastating. Complete head rebuild. But I'm happy he's come again. There's definitely a lot more he can offer. I think at British level, he's fantastic. I think he dominates most of British level. Eric's a big believer in that. Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen should probably be fighting for the British title, and I do agree with him on that. I think other than Fisher and Allen, Clark is probably the best in Britain at the minute, at that level. Obviously, everyone else is now moving on.
Yeah.
If he comes through Tete, which I think he will very easily, I think he's far too good for David Adelaide or TKV. I really do think his level's above them.
Yeah, I think boxing style wise, Fraser, how he fights, I think he beats Jamie because Jamie's style. Jamie he tries to box, but he also smothers. Jamie lands his jab, he'll get in close. Whereas Fraser's a big lad. He likes to throw a body shot, but whether they land or not, where they land is a different story. But I think Adelaide probably walks into shots on from Fraser. I think Fraser stops Adelaide. I think Jamie, I don't think he stops Jamie simply because how Jamie fights. I don't think he'll allow him. He smothers too much. He gets in close. He makes it nasty. So I think he outboxes Jamie probably. I don't know. It'll be a 10-round fight, 12-round fight. I think he outboxes Jamie over 10 or 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Rico's just put Clark is another Joyce there. Don't agree with that.
Nah, definitely not. But how? He
doesn't. Not as shot as Joyce, is he?
No, but even how he boxes, I don't. Clark has movement. I know what happened in the Wardley fight happened, but Clark's movement's way better than Joe Joyce's.
The thing is with Tete though as well. Like, say he's probably had some facial reconstruction off of that injury. Is Tete's also got a pretty good record for knocking people out. So
yeah, but last time
he takes on a big shot. Will he have it?
Last time we saw Tete against Dillian White, both of them, I just wanted to grab both of them and chuck them both out of the ring. They were just.
Was that the fight in Gibraltar or something like that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That was just awful to watch. So Clark should spark him. Clark should beat him and stop him.
While we're on this card, then as well, like I saw another article. This person was saying that this fight is a must-win for Ben Whittaker. He's 27 years old. I understand that it might knock his career back a little bit if he did lose, but surely at 27, he's in his prime. I know he's he's building his career, but surely just because if he loses this fight, like, it doesn't affect the career. I feel like we need to get the mentality that losses destroy your career. Do you know what I mean? Because look at Derek Chisora. We had this chat early on, didn't we? 13 losses. That guy's got a resume fucking near enough second to none. Do you know what I mean? And he's an absolute machine. So you can sell tickets with losses. It's all about the character. And I just think his journey, even if he does lose, can be rebuilt. And I don't think it's fair to say it's a must win, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't like the must wins fights. We was on about that. I don't like when people say, "Oh, it's a must win." Boxing right now is thriving. There's plenty of. Yeah, thanks for that, Mandy. I'm seeing it in front of me.
Get up there, man.
I keep checking. Better fucking not be.
It is. They're taking it now, and Lacazette scored 4-2.
You don't get give an average amateur career, right? Yeah. So you've got your ridiculous ones like I think Calzaghe only lost one or a handful. Lomachenko, Usyk, whatever. They barely lost any fights. That's not a normal amateur career. A normal British amateur career. Me and Ricky have been at the same gym. You get losses, okay? You get decisions that don't get your way. You get decisions that you think you have won it. You get losses in the amateurs, and that's okay. And you move forward. You come to the pros, and it's all of a sudden, like you say, Ben Whittaker's 27. He has had a lot of bad press. I don't think he's helped himself with that, with the way he's dealt with things. But all of a sudden, your career's over. Why? You come up against people that you just can't beat sometimes. And that's not saying you. Ben might come out and absolutely spank Liam Cameron. He's got all the credentials to do that. But if Liam Cameron dominates him, that's the end of Ben Whittaker's career with the massive push that he's had. It's absolutely ridiculous to even fucking think that. He's a silver medalist.
That's the problem. That's the problem with the money in boxing, because people look at, he's getting paid this much. He's never going to get paid that much. Do you know there's like 1% of boxers that get paid that sort of money? And Ben, he's not going to get paid that sort of money retiring from boxing right now and doing any other job.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, like, these fighters, like you said, CJ, these fighters losing the amateurs. People are acting like these fighters are not used to, like, you've never lost in the life before. You fight, you spar, like, even sparring, they don't count sparring. You know when you've had your ass beat in sparring. Whether, no matter what it feels like, you know when you've had your ass beat. So these fighters have tasted defeat before. So fan clip basis, the reason why I wanted to do this podcast and stuff is so we talk about these fighters who are coming off losses, who have lost and whatnot. We've got an imposter in the background for some reason. I'm not sure why, but we'll let him on just for. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to regret this.
Is this Rico?
Everyone,
don't do that.
Yeah.
Yo, Rico, what's happening, man?
I'm going to regret this right now. But hey, listen, this is now everyone who's been a part of Crossroads Boxing together. Rico was Rico.
I mean,
he got replaced.
I know.
And then
thanks.
Furthermore, if CJ was ever to leave, we've replaced him already. So
yeah, now we have CJ's replacement. To be honest with you, I actually didn't want to be on the show. I was having so much fun in the comment section, but I just wanted to say welcome, Ricky. I wanted to say congratulations to Eric and congratulations to CJ, because you guys have done an incredible job right now. All right. Views are great. The conversation is sometimes I just have to kind of get in there because like you guys are like my special project, and whenever I hear you and stuff like that, and and Eric's voice is just continuous. I'm like, I need to do something.
You can't do this now. This is you. You just took over and all we hear is your voice.
And it's a voice of love and congratulations.
Rico, can I ask you a question while you're on?
You may.
What's the Man United score, please?
This is my final appearance on Crossroads, man, except for the comment section, because that's where I live. But no, CJ, ask me any questions that you want right now.
What's the Man United score, Rico?
Any other questions?
We've got a penalty.
No, what's your feeling on Whittaker Cameron? How do you see that fight going?
I am going to go with Liam Cameron. I really, really admire Liam, his story, because you know what it is. I love underdogs, man. I'm an underdog. You're an underdog, CJ. Eric, you're definitely an underdog. We're getting subtitles in here soon, guys. Don't worry. Ricky, you're an underdog. We're all underdogs out here, man. And you know, Liam and what he's been through and everything like that. I'm a hopeless romantic. So I really, in terms of the boxing, for some reason, a crouching tiger, hidden dragon Whittaker folds when he fights somebody with good fundamentals. So I got to be real.
But you know what? I disagree with that though, because he's gone through the amateurs and fought people who's put pressure on him and that. He's been there before. We're pretending that he's not fought someone like Liam Cameron before. I think he overlooked Liam Cameron. He thought he could bang Liam out, and he got in there and realised he was in a real fight. And when you're in that sort of fight, it's hard to revert back to type of just trying to box when someone can visibly hurt you when they're landing. You're also tired. He was absolutely shattered in there. So
whose fault is that?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not excusing the
Yes,
first
you are.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is there's reasons to believe that he can do it in the second fight. That I can see what he did wrong in the first fight. I can 100% see what he did wrong in the first fight.
Oh, he was boxing well. He literally he was doing too much kung fu, and then Liam was doing the fundamentals, breaking him down. As it was going from 5 to 6, bro was looking at it like, this is a bit long, in it really. Don't want to be here. I can see an exit, but I don't know if I can do it. We're doing it here. And then that's what happened. Shout out to Goat Shalom, man. Sorry. Just invading you guys' show. You know, shout out to my hero, the GOAT, that is Ben Shalom, man. The gift that keeps on giving. I can't wait for the show, Ben. I hope you can hear me. I know you can.
Cashing checks.
Yeah. I got my guy Cameron, man. You know, I believe that Olympic squad, for some reason, there's just a lot of unlucky shit going on there. So yeah, I'm going with my guy Cam.
On the so next, what I wanted to jump on quickly, not just jumping on Dalton Smith, is that it's actually a really good card, and again, it's not had much promotion. You've got Josh Kelly fighting on the undercard. You've got Josh Warrington, massive thing for us Northerners, and one for me and you, Rick, certainly, especially we've been in the gym and witnessed him training, sparring. Josh Padley.
Yeah.
Josh Padley's having a full camp for this one as well. Just want to make that clear, a full camp for this. The opponent, obviously nothing spectacular, but again, for the fans, he's earned so much respect and fans worldwide for him being the last minute man, stepping in, saving shows. Padley can be something really special. I do believe that. I do believe he's going to go the right route now. He's probably not going to make any daft decisions as to, he doesn't have to take any last minute fights now. He probably would, because he's that kind of guy, but I think we could really see something special for Padley.
Yeah, he is a very good boxer. Yeah, like I said, we've seen him at gym sparring, and he's very sharp. Everything he does is methodical, is quick, he's strong, and he's vicious in the ring as well. He's got that venom in him. So he's a very good rated fighter for me, and I think he can go far in the business 100%. The interesting one for me is actually Josh Warrington, because I know he's sort of like one of his previous fights. He sort of laid down his gloves. They were done, weren't he? And then he's decided to give it another go, saying that he wants to give his fans not like he thinks he can do anything, but he wants to give his fans something to cheer for again. I feel like this next fight is going to be a pretty easy win for him. But coming off of this, for a fight where I see Josh Warrington, I kind of think there's a British title there, and Reece Blott is holding that, and I just kind of think, would that be a good bow out for Josh Warrington, or would he need something bigger? But I think a good title shot with Reece Blotty, I think it's a good fight. I
think it's a really good fight. I don't think he'd take that, Rick. I think Josh and his team think he's a lot better than that. But I do think that's a good fight. I think Reece Bangabalotti has been in the game forever and a day. I mean, I remember him boxing Jason Cunningham. I mean, how long ago was that? He's still there. He's still kicking in. What's going on here? What's
Come on,
going on?
Rico.
Rico
on.
is Rico's love for Josh Warrington. It's not there.
Oh, come on, man. What's up with you? Stay down south, Rico. Stay down there.
I'm just watching CJ saying out, and Rico's just in the background like, now, you know what? I don't know how much Josh has got left because laying your gloves down in the ring.
Nothing.
Ring like
nothing.
I don't know how much he believes he's got left. I don't whether this is he's been offered something he can't turn down. But
of course,
how much has he got left? How much has he really got left? In boxing, I don't know. You saying the Reece Bellotti fight is not enough for him? He thinks he's above that. I think the best thing for his career is to take that, because he takes that. He's now got his name. Get in there, get in.
You have shame. Have shame. Have shame.
The unprofessionalness being shown right now is unbelievable.
I apologize,
mate. It's a tick against a couple of boxes. You people are horrible. You are horrible. All of you Northerners, bro. You want that guy to have CTE, bro. Right? You want him to just not even be able to say, "My name is Josh Warrington. Please buy a ticket." That's what you That's what you want.
It's not as bad as fucking Joe Joyce.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Ricky. That's a good shout.
Even him. I'm saying the same thing. Joyce, stop it. Same thing, right? But can we not like Josh, man?
I think
no.
If you're able to win that title and bow out like that, I think it's a perfect goodbye for him, if I'm honest.
And if he doesn't, and if he gets sparked for the British, bro, what are you doing?
Well, if he gets sparked for the British, then he's done. If he don't belong at British level, he's gonna get done. If he can't beat a Reece Bellotti at British level for a title that is a prestigious title. At this point in your career, what big fights is there out there for you? There's no world title fights out there for you because you're not beating them.
Where was there ever big fights for him?
So,
you can't say that, Rico. Can we?
Yeah, I can.
Oh my god!
I've never seen someone get so excited over mid-table Manchester.
5-4, 120th minute. 120th minute.
This is why God brought me here today. This final.
I'm not even sorry. Do you know?
I know you're not, and that's what disgusts me.
I've made through this whole podcast. This is
Bro, you're debuting your show. You're the head of the table right now. You're Roman Reigns, and you're moving hereditary out here.
I don't care.
CJ and Ricky, I apologize. All right, gents, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Ricky, you know what? Ricky right now. Ricky,
I take that back. That Josh Warrington shit. No, all right, take that back.
Rico. I think it's a good scrap, mate. But
Ricky,
moving on. Go on.
What's your thoughts on Josh Kelly? Because Josh Kelly was tipped to be absolutely ginormous. I mean, his style at the start, it was fast, it was ferocious. I remember that bout. I can't remember who with. It was a northeastern bout, and he landed about 7 left hooks in a row or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Langford. Is it Tommy Langford? He did
was that. Was it Tommy Langford? Might have been. Yeah. That was unbelievable. That was exciting. It was like, wow, we've really got someone here. And Josh Kelly's just never, ever done. He's never lived up to it, I think.
No.
What's your thoughts, Ricky?
I feel like you were very wasted. I feel like a lot of the videos where he's just dancing around, touching these bags and acting like the GOAT. I don't like it, and I think his performances of late as well have not been matching his confidence in the training videos. I just don't think he's been that great. I think he's been very mediocre. His last fight, I'm sure it was last fight, we were quite fortunate as well. And I just think if he steps up, I think he's getting dusted.
Ricky out here. Ricky. I knew from your name, bro.
I started off liking him. I mean, I remember I was at the Kelbrook L. Spence card, and he was going to be on that card, and that was very early on in his career. And I was excited to watch him. I think he pulled out with an injury, but since those years have gone by, I don't feel like he's done anything.
Listen, as soon as when he stepped up and he fought Ray Robinson and he got gifted a draw in America, that I was like, yeah, you're just not what you were packaged at, because
What
you
about when
punch him
Eddie
down-
Hearn said that he had the same skills as Lomachenko, and people like myself started calling him Loma
Listen.
Kelly?
That's on you. That's really that doesn't surprise me. Not
It
one
is.
bit.
It is. It is. I actually, when the
does
first
not
time I interviewed
surprise
him, I actually called him Loma Kelly. But he
You're
never got it. I said
disgrace.
it so fast. I said it so fast. He just
You're a
didn't come.
disgrace. You're a
I am.
disgrace.
I am.
No, but Josh Kelly, I think I still want to see him versus Conor Benn. To be honest with you, I want to see that fight. Because once Conor loses to Chris, he ain't gonna go straight back down to 147. He's gonna have to have a fight at 154.
It's not in stone, is it?
He's
It's not in stone.
To have a fight at 154. I think a Josh Kelly fight at 154. It's a all British fight. It gets, you know what I mean. If you can win that, it gets a bit more British public back on your side, which he badly needs. But yeah, I think that's the fight I want to see. I'm not really that high. Josh needs to show something more. What's happening here? Rico, are you messing with my settings right now?
No, absolutely not. That's not one bit.
Is there? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've gone.
What have United? What are they actually winning, or are you like drawing? Because if you're drawing, bro, don't even. That's not even. Yeah.
No, we're winning, bro.
Who do you have? Who would you have on the Kelly versus Ben?
Come on, Liam.
So if we're taking the Eubank thing out of it, just get rid of that. And if that was now, I think Conor Benn beats him, and that's without steroids. I think he's too ferocious for Josh. I think that's shown that when the pressure is put on him, he doesn't really know what to do with it.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I think Josh with pressure, a pressure fighter beats Josh 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I think that. What about you, Rick?
Have we heard?
What?
Go on, Rick.
What about you, Rick? What do you think?
No, Rico says what then. I'm like, what? I'm not sure. I think it's a close fight. I feel like Kelly's definitely by far the better boxer, but I kind of feel like he likes to engage and he gets drawn into engagement too much. I think if he stuck to his boxing, I think he would outbox Ben, but I feel like he'd just be sucking into a. I think he'd be sucked into a wall. And I think that's where Ben does. Ben's not a boxer. Ben's a fighter, and I think Ben had dusted him in the mix-up. But if he had a set game plan, and he stuck to it, I think he could outpoint him personally. But
okay,
I don't know. That's one for the future, innit? Really, that one.
Maybe it depends what happens next week.
Yeah, I think that fight can still happen anyway. I think Ben has to come back down no matter what happens. He has to come back down, and I don't think he goes straight back down to 147 from 160. We saw what that did to Kel. That sort of ruined his career. Even the moving back down ruined his career as well.
What are you looking up? Are you looking up at God? What's happening?
Yeah, God is playing right now. He's. I've lost my train of thought now, Rico. This is what happens with you. You always do this.
I do. You're like Garrick. You're
in the back foot.
Oh, this is my last one. Sorry, and then I'm out your lives forever. Okay, you like this one, Eric?
No, not forever. Forever.
Oh fuck, no, definitely not forever. You're all supposed to make me rich in Yorkshire. So with we've all seen the heartfelt Chris Eubank Sr. You know, he was in a park today, and he called. All right, so for me, yeah, this is a two-parter here. Now, if that, like, I don't care what my pick-me. You guys don't know what thing. That's a. Yeah, you're a child. Your son or your daughter. You know, I can't. Like Eubank said, you know, Chris is a disgrace, and he won't be in his corner. Like for me, like for my son, bro, I might be the referee. That's how I'm going. You know, I didn't agree with what he said and how he because that's just not, you know, that's your child, man. But you know, that's their relationships. Eric,
Yeah.
you were born from an egg. What do you?
Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, I like Christine. I do. He was one of them guys you can't really hate. But what that whole statement of, "Oh, you're a disgrace. I didn't teach you that to crack an egg, bro." He's fighting a drug cheat, and you're yet to come out and call Conor Benn out on being a drug cheat. You've defended Conor Benn this whole time for over a year or whatever it's been. You've defended Conor Benn. So for you to take a stand saying, "Oh, you're a disgrace because he smashed the egg over his head," that's just mental to me. Like whatever Chris has done to hurt him, it's clearly he's not going to get over it. But Chris needs to be a man and do his own thing at the end of the day. I just think Senior's a bit bitter at the moment.
I think Chris Eubank isn't the guy that would let that upset him. I don't think that would enter his mindset. But I think it's really, really dangerous as a parent, as somebody who's been one of the best in the world, one of the best we'll ever have in our country, Chris Eubank Senior. He knows that could potentially be really detrimental to his son, who's having the biggest fight of his life. Why would you want to do that? There's obviously got situations outside of the ring, but why would you want to say these things a week before his biggest fight of his life? I don't understand.
Do you reckon he's trolling?
It looks like he's trolling, doesn't it? He's looking for a reaction.
I don't get what good that does in any way, shape, or form. I don't get it. Like
your son could get like nah.
Probably just staying fucking relevant, really, with him though half the time, isn't it?
No, but I mean, there's relevance in, but that's your kid, that's your son, bro. Like a week before the fight, like you can't, and calling your kid like a disgrace, bro. I'll slap an egg on a man, bro.
I love it when a Jamaican comes out and me. It must be mad.
He forces that.
The streets come out and you're back seeing it. You must be mad.
Listen, half of my family is Jamaican. He forces that out. He forces.
Would
that
you
out.
like a smartie? I love that one.
I tell you what, that's more natural than the whole Jamaican thing. I'm telling you.
Would you like a sweetie?
Don't accuse me. Where he was, yes, you know, dinner with the Queen. Dreadlock me, I'll come for you. And then he's my mother's tongue. I'm just, and I'm like, you are so good at what you do. Like you look like honestly, when you really know boxing like this, bro, like what, like that's just it's perfect. But all of this, I hope it's trolling because you can't say that about you a week before the fight, bro. That's outrageous.
Yeah, it is outrageous. I think it is. What we got? So you wanted to touch on Dalton Smith, didn't you? Before we finish, CJ, we haven't touched on.
I wanted to touch on Dalton, and then there's one more. Can I quickly sneak one more in?
Listen,
Frank
Rico's
Sanchez.
not in charge, so Rico's not in charge.
I'm going to
we
sneak
can
that
do
in
what
as
we
well
want.
with Sanchez.
Frank Sanchez
can do what we want.
versus Hrgovic. And
inmates running the asylum.
That's going to be the mandatory for Dubois. What do you think to this?
Nah, I sent Ricky some. It's saying that the IBF is still going to order the Chisora Dubois fight. So if they do order that, it looks like that belt's going to go vacant anyway. Chisora's number one, right? Chisora's mandatory, so it'll be Sanchez or. I don't see why Sanchez or who was it? Sanchez versus Hrgovic. Why?
Do you know what it is, guys? Yeah.
Why those two?
I'm gonna breeze. But one thing, obviously, as it's my last one on Crossroads, and you guys are my favorite show. All right, can't even lie. Out of all of them, okay, or Coogan, all of them hate their voices. But you guys, my favorite. So I'm just gonna say, I have a gift, and I might be a mystic person. So, what was the date for that supposed Usyk and Dubois fight?
July 12th.
Can anyone?
July 12th.
Right.
July
so
12th?
that one.
I think so.
16, something like that. God damn it, or something. I don't know. But all I can say to you lot is, I reckon that will be a huge card. I think it will definitely happen. And I think you're going to see a plethora of talent on display for it. But I don't know.
I don't think it's going to be for Undisputed.
Oh, mate, I have a strong. I don't know. I just.
I don't think it will
damn
be.
it.
I think they're
It
going
might
to do.
be.
I think they're going to do what they did with Daniel, because listen, the Fury Usyk 2 happened without Undisputed. Daniel was IBF mandatory. That got called. They dropped the belt. The same thing's going to happen here. If Daniel's fighting Usyk, that belt's getting dropped, and no doubt, fucking Cesaro.
Well, why do you say that? Is it because of what? Like, why do you say that?
Say what? That the
Well, you
belt
just
getting
said
dropped?
that. Yeah, because it's a unification that's making it possible.
The unification is making it possible. They're clearly not, because the IBF is still calling it. If the IBF is still calling it, they're not going along with the unification.
What have the IBF called?
Literally, there's an article saying the IBF is still.
Who's the article
calling
from?
Bro,
Boxing
I'm
news,
not doing all this right now. Boxing news.
Well, tell you what. Tell Tebet. I said, you know what?
What do you know?
Huh?
What do you know? Tell us what you know, because clearly
Listen,
you know something.
I know. Listen, I know that the North is the best out here. I love you guys so much. Look out for that date there. You guys are doing an amazing job, Eric. I love you, long time. CJ, can't wait to just that head and good stuff, Ricky. Have an incredible
Ricky's
day,
got
guys.
a head like me.
I see it. I don't know vision, but yeah. Have a great one, guys, and great job.
Yeah, later.
Yeah.
See you later,
bro.
Cheers, Rico.
Yeah, go on.
Whoa,
CJ.
change that one.
Change that right now.
Change that.
I don't even know what
You are drawing attention to my fat head and my fucking squashy sunburn there, mate. Jesus Christ.
Listen,
Whoa!
I have no idea.
Can we quickly touch
idea.
on
Yeah.
on
Turn
Dalton?
that off,
What are you doing?
No, right, where
Hey.
are we? No, Rico's messing with the thingy. Right, we've got a comment here. I don't know why I'm on big screen anyway. From Rico. CJ, do you want to read this comment? It's too many words.
Yeah, my final verdict on watching Whittaker versus Cameron. I'm skipping this fight and catching the highlight. I love boxing, but I'm good, fam.
Oh, that's
Why are you skipping it?
Visa's not a fan of Whittaker. He's not.
Right,
a fan
okay.
of Whittaker.
Surely you want to watch him get his head kicked in then? Surely.
Miss having doubts.
Do you know what I'm upset about, boys? That am I still on? Oh, here's what you do.
Yeah, you're still on. I'm just honestly, I have no idea what Rico's done with my setup. He's messed it up. So I'm now pressing buttons for the sake of it.
Usually when Rico comes on, I leave with a new piece of language that I don't understand, that I usually like message Eric with after. So the other day it was bashment. Not a clue what that was. I think it was like bomber clot or something the other week. Didn't have a clue what that was. And he's left me without any more information or any more little bits of language. So I'm upset about that, Rico.
I'm sure he'll leave it in the chat. Sure he will do.
So, Dalton Smith and Jermaine. Let's go for it quickly.
Dalton, strong win, stoppage. I think that's clear. But he's then got to step up, and he really has got to step up. And that's not Dalton. I genuinely think Dalton would fight anyone that's put in front of him, and I think he's good enough. But he's really got to be making moves now. Would you say, Rick?
I think so, mate. I feel like the Kell Brook in his career a little bit, where they're not getting the fights needed at the right time. I don't think they did that for Kell Brook really neither. And I don't want it to be too late. I think after this fight, he needs a WBC top 10 fight for his next fight. I think Jermaine's not even at rank top 15. I think he's ranked with IBF, but I'd like to see him personally. I was telling Earth the other day as well, during our fucking 1 hour, 2 hour chats, is Isaac Cruz Jr. for Dalton Smith. I like that fight.
Pitbull.
I like the Pitbull, and only because I feel like Dalton beats him. I feel like he's got the style, he's got the aggression. I'd like to see him under pressure, a lot of pressure, and Pitbull brings pressure, he brings energy, and he brings someone that will come to like fight Dalton toe to toe. And I want to see Dalton in that kind of mix up. So I don't think a world title is right for him because he's beat fighters that have been put in front of him, yeah. But in the top 10 of the WBC, I don't really know who he's beaten. I don't think he's beaten any of them. So I'd like to see him in a good top 10 fight next, personally.
I think he'd look good in a tear-up as well, Rick Dalton. I think he's got that fire in him.
Yeah.
I think, do you know what? That's a great fight you've listed there. I think it'd be a proper barnstormer. Proper barnstormer.
Yeah, I do. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, I agree. Like I said to you, I didn't mind the fight. I wouldn't mind seeing a catch-all fight as well. I said to you, CJ, before that I thought he was maybe one fight away from a catch-all fight, because I thought Catchall would have beat Barboza. He didn't, but he's still, for me, after this fight, I think a Jack Catchall fight is a perfect fight to go into. An all-British fight, you can beat Jack, you can take a lot of fans, then you can go out to America and start dealing with them over there. I feel like a British fighter always needs that big fight just to get that fan base behind them. I think Jack's got a decent fan base. If you can beat Jack in good fashion, people will follow you before you go over to America. Because when you go over to America, you want to be able to make a splash. There's no point going over there with no name or whatever, because they'll just try and do you over, especially on cards and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, other than that, all I've got left is Terry Harper signing with Ryan Rhodes as a new manager. I like that setup. I think that's a good choice of manager. Ryan Rhodes, I think, is a great bloke. Very well experienced in the boxing industry as well. And to be fair, got himself in quite a few good fights. So Canelo mainly won. I think it's a good future for Terry, really. I like to see Terry in plenty more fights, and especially when hosting the main event in Keepmoat. I think it's good to bring that sort of level of boxing and world championship fights to Doncaster. I think it's a great setup.
I'm gutted that I'm not going to be there.
You're gutted, what?
You're on holiday, aren't you?
I'm not going to be there. I'm off on holiday with family.
It's a good night of boxing.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be there. We need to work something out so Ricky can come. I think me and Ricky, if Ricky can be there, me and Ricky can go. I'm definitely going anyway. We need to speak to the higher ups, Rico. Get us that second ticket so we can go. But the timing is the time's up today. It's good timing because look who's turned up out of bed.
Boss man. Right, top lad.
He's just woke up. So. Hi. All right. Yeah, mate. But Ricky's first show. Thanks for joining us, Ricky. Happy to have you on board. Mate. Yeah, happy to have you on board, especially on the panel as well. It's good to have, all of our views. Just get it out. Obviously, we've got the articles, what you're going to be writing on the reviews of most of the cards. We won't say all, most.
Yeah,
most of the cards.
Lucky most. We were chatting about the league as well, weren't we?
We'll have to work on it, but we're wanting to do a Crossroads Boxing Fantasy League. I think we're going to do it over 4 weeks. Hopefully we can start it soon. We're going to try and do it over 4 weeks. That we've got predictions of each fight. We're going to put the fights down. We're going to put the rules of we're going to have three methods. You're going to have the winner, result, and then type of result, whether it's going to be what round of KO, majority decision, split decision, or unanimous decision. You're going to get extra points for those as well. But once we get it sorted between myself, all right, mate. Once we get it started between myself, Ricky and CJ, we'll post it out on our Facebook and everything else. You guys want to say any closing?
Shout out to Leonardo Han, the foreigner. The future of boxing, the future of Doncaster.
Yeah, Ricky's son boxes as well, so we're gonna be posting stuff about Ricky's son as well, and his progress. And anything from you, Ricky?
Show, boys.
No, nothing from me. I know CJ. I think you want to shout something out as well, CJ.
Shout out flyers delivered for you.
Yes,
the new business in town.
Yeah. We'll post everything. Everything will be on our Facebook page. If you can go over to our Facebook page, look at all information. CJ's flyer business will be on there. We'll be posting on there. Leo's updates on his training camps, his fights coming up, that'll be on there, as well as Ricky's reviews. We'll also be having my commentary work, what I do with the 505 watch parties. There's one next weekend for the Ben Eubank. I post on their videos and clips from that watch party will be on there as well. Just before we leave, we'll just shout out Trey, who says, big up my Yorkshire brothers.
Big up Trey, thank you, pal.
Becky Laver says, amazing podcast. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Becky.
That's my sister.
Mandy says, great show.
Get to bed, Mum. Get to bed now.
And yeah, we'll leave it on that. United, yes.
United.
All right then, boys. Thanks for joining me again, boys. We'll be back next week. And we're out.
Hey, see you later.